That should do it. Oh, it's working. Welcome. I'm so glad you could be here with us today to try out my latest invention, Interactovision.
Wallace and Gromit, who most people probably already know, are an English comedy duo who are the stars of a series of claymated shorts. And what we're doing is we've made a series of games which are designed to feel like 4 more shorts in the series, and it's actually they're connected to each other, but each one has its own story, and they come out on a monthly, more or less monthly basis on XBLA and also on our own website, telltalegames.com. So the idea is basically that you are guiding the main characters of kind of a little movie. So you get to be Wallace for a while, and you cause problems, and then you get to be Gromit for a while, and you get yourself out of problems. And we generally kind of go back and forth between you get to be Wallace and you get to be Gromit.
The way we wanted to approach sort of taking the claymation stop motion style and turning it into a video game was something that we put a lot of effort into. We played around with our frame rate. Since our game's a little slower paced, we were able to sort of slow that down a bit. We also did some sort of under the hood systematic stuff with the way the characters move to get their movements to interpolate and differently and feel a little bit more like stop motion. We set the changing mouths on the dialogue for the characters. When they talk, their mouths don't interpolate much, so they kind of step a little bit, and that kind of adds to it. So all those things kind of mixed together give you this sense, that even though the camera's flowing at 30 frames a second and everything else is flowing at 30 frames a second, it feels a little bit closer to, a 24 frames per second stop motion film. Aardman really required that we replicate their characters dead on. So we took a lot of great pains replicating that in terms of modeling the way the characters bend and move, the texture, and they were nice enough to give us some of their actual examples, and these are sort of the prototypes that they used when going in and shaping the mouths for the films. It was a challenge to get, to figure out a way to have Wallace convey what it was you're supposed to do in the world in terms of how he moves. So he has to walk around, he has to look at things, he has to pick things up and do all of that sort of simultaneously. And that's maybe a little different than the very specific acting that we're used to seeing Wallace do in the films. He's pretty much just doing his thing. Now he's got to sort of hang out, but also check out what's around and focus on things, and so that was a definite sort of concession to interacting in the game environment. Wallace and Gromit have a whole new town that you get to deal with, and a whole new set of characters, and some people who are friends, some people who are foes, some people who are unwelcome antagonists, and yeah, we were able to sort of populate their world with some new and very interesting characters, and I think that was fun for everyone involved in that process, from the writers to the designers to the modelers to the animators, being able to take on something new in the Wallace and Gromit canon and sort of make it their own, and I think people will be very, very pleased with some of the characters that they're introduced to over the course of the series.